What's up, everybody, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of Between the Cons. My name is Chris, and I am your fearless leader today. And with me, MasterMind-rebo returns.
'Cause I was like, baby, 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 ooh.
This is going to be a thing where every time you just talk about your baby.
It's my world, man. It's like the reason I don't sleep at night and the reason that I won't be going to most of these movies.
That's fair. We should just change your name to Papa Mindrebo.
Ooh,
And that should be your new on-air nickname.
All right, man. All right, because I am the only Papa, right? No, wait.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I am.
Yeah, you're the only dad on the show.
There you go, man.
You are so special.
Ugh, isn't that the truth? I think anyone who's listened to my episodes also knows that, yes, MasterMind-rebo / Papa Mindrebo is very special.
There you go.
I said it so you didn't have to.
Well, today we're going to talk about the Golden Globes. We're going to review the winners list, talk about the movies that we have seen, the movies we want to see, the movies that we felt should have won. But before we get there, thanks so much for tuning in. Follow us on the internet. We're at Between the Cons on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Leave a review on the iTunes store, the podcast app, whatever you want to call it. Leave a review there. Tell the whole wide internet how much you love the show, or how much you hate the show, or how much you're indifferent about the show. Just tell them something about the show. Review it, please. That would be cool. Now, let's jump right into Topic Thunder and talk about the Golden Globes.
Well, Christy, I mean, we fully acknowledged even at the end of our last episode that, yes, this is a week late.
A week and some change, yeah.
Yeah,
it was last weekend.
It was last weekend that this happened. But,
right.
You know, that being said, like, there are some big news. And even, like, you know, maybe the Golden Globes isn't really our typical wheelhouse when it comes
it's definitely
to
not.
Like, I mean, it's outside because really our kinds of Between the Cons shows don't really win big in the Golden Globes.
Don't get nominated for awards, period.
Yeah.
I mean as a vast majority, sci-fi gets the boot.
Yeah. You know, gone are the days where Lord of the Rings wins every award out there, or Harry Potter. Like, we just don't have those anymore. So, yeah.
Right.
So,
well, we do have a lot. So we're gonna hit every award that was given. We're gonna review the nominees, and we're gonna remind you who won, and then we're gonna kind of pepper in some color commentary here and there. So let's just jump straight into movies. The motion picture, or the best motion picture for a drama, went to Three Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, beating out Call Me by Your Name, Dunkirk, The Post, and The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
Now, out of that list, I have only seen The Shape of Water. I know I haven't seen Dunkirk yet. I own it.
I love
but
that.
I have not watched it yet. From everything I've heard, it's pretty heavy. And I've got to be in a very specific mood to watch those kind of movies, or I just won't pay attention.
Yeah.
But The Shape of Water, I mean, I just watched it this weekend. It was fantastic. It was wonderful. And I'm going to put up a big argument here in a minute for The Shape of Water on something that I felt like it should have won.
Okay.
But we'll get there in a second.
Yeah. And, you know, honestly, man, like, again, it's one of those movies where the fact that it's on this list, that's a breakthrough. You know, like, that's a big deal.
Pan's Labyrinth won a bunch. You put Guillermo del Toro's movie or name on a movie that doesn't have Hellboy in the title, and it's going to get nominated for awards.
Absolutely.
And I think that's because he does such a good job at building, at world building, really.
World building and
just
and
creating
a story,
creating this weird sci-fi that like doesn't feel a lot like sci-fi, but is totally sci-fi, like a girl falling in love with a weird like water creature man thing.
And
But
yet it obviously works, you know?
right. Best motion picture, musical or comedy, The Disaster Artist, The Greatest Showman, I, Tonya, and Get Out were all beaten by Lady Bird.
Yeah.
Which is sort of surprising.
Yeah. But I mean, the critics obviously like died over Lady Bird.
Oh my gosh, it's like the highest rated movie on Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
It has an outstanding score. I haven't seen it yet. I actually haven't seen any of these movies other than Get Out. I really want to see I, Tonya, the Margot Robbie movie about Tonya Harding.
Yeah.
But
and I felt like, honestly, for that
yet.
one, I felt like I'd just seen trailers for I, Tonya. And
oh yeah,
yeah. So
well, I was more surprised that Get Out didn't get that award. However, it's like a horror satire.
Yeah.
So it's kind of a weird niche for that movie too. I mean, I'm impressed that it even got nominated.
Yeah. Yeah, but for it to transcend to a point where it could win, that's
And I've heard some things. I've heard Greatest Showman, you only watch the movie to have context for the soundtrack. Because apparently the soundtrack is fantastic, but the movie is not.
Got it. That's kind of like you remember Moulin Rouge? Like,
oh yeah,
I had heard the soundtrack long before I saw the movie, and just so happened to then see it. So I think it was because it had prostitutes in it, but that's beside the point. Let's get back to So that was high school.
Best performance by an actress in a motion picture for drama. Frances McDormand won for 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri, beating out Meryl Streep in The Post, which is great because I don't like Meryl Streep. Michelle Williams in All the Money in the World, Jessica Chastain in Molly's Game, and Sally Hawkins in The Shape of Water, which I feel like Sally Hawkins was robbed so hard. Here's the thing about Sally Hawkins. She plays a mute character.
Yeah.
She doesn't. She has like one scene in the entire movie where she uses her voice.
Yeah.
And for the rest of the movie, she's mute and she portrays emotion and she portrays she does such a good job with such a huge handicap as an actress. Yeah. That I feel like like I said, I have not seen 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I want to. But just having seen The Shape of Water and the performance that Sally Hawkins put up, I feel like Frances McDormand, when I do see 3 Billboards, she's going to have big time shoes to fill for me to feel like that was deserved.
I get it, man. And honestly, having not seen The Shape of Water, but the trailers itself just convey deep emotion from a mute actress, and but I mean she's not mute, but I mean
mute character.
Thank you, that was the word I was looking for. And so I look forward to seeing both.
Best performance by an actor in a drama. Daniel Day-Lewis for Phantom Thread, Tom Hanks for The Post, Denzel for Roman J. Israel Esquire, and then Timothée Chalamet for Call Me By Your Name. Gary Oldman wins for his portrayal of Winston Churchill, which Gary Oldman, man, I mean, what can he not do? Is there anything?
I really can't think of a role that he is incapable of playing well. Yeah, good guy, bad guy, side character,
Well, even the characters that he does play, he has a lot of characters where he was not at the forefront. I mean, he's got 92 acting credits. He's in a lot of movies, and there are a lot of movies where he is not featured in a big way. And I feel like to be that and to excel to the level that he does, it's about time.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not only that, the diversity of his roles, and the range of even his voice.
Oh, for sure.
Is impressive.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it.
Yeah. I think that that was a very well-deserved award. And congratulations to Mr. Gary Oldman.
Because we know he's listening.
Right. The next one, Best Actress in a Musical or Comedy, goes to Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird. I hope Dane is listening and he's happy that I pronounced that properly. But Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird, not surprising with the fact that that won Best Motion Picture for Musical or Comedy. Beating out Margot Robbie, Emma Stone, Helen Mirren, and Dame Judi Dench, which is pretty impressive.
Yeah, that's a good list. And how do you feel about Helen Mirren again?
Are you actually asking?
No. It felt so passionate the last time you responded that I wanted some kind of reaction. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I'm just not. I just don't like her. Yeah, it's her face. She
a very famous face, but
very famous face. I mean, she's been acting since she was born. It feels like.
And let's be real, she's not listening, so we can say this. It's fine.
I did like her. I did like her in the Red movies, but those movies are terrible. And I liked them because they were terrible.
Yeah.
But Best Director goes to Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water. Fantastic. Beating out Three Billboards, Dunkirk, All the Money in the World, and Steven Spielberg's The Post. Beating out some big names: Christopher Nolan, Ridley Scott, Steven Spielberg, and Martin McDonough, which is
that's a good
strong
list,
work.
That's a good year. When you have all that on a list.
Yeah. Best performance by an actor in a musical or comedy. James Franco in The Disaster Artist won.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I don't care to see it. I wasn't interested in it, and frankly, the trailers annoyed me.
Yeah. And the fact that it's made off of The Room, and the life of, I can't even remember his name, but I could tell you his voice in my head. And so, and the fact too, James Franco blocked him, from actually saying a word, just says the oddness of the whole story. He was going to say something. James Franco's like, no, dude, you're not getting this microphone from me. Have a good life. This is not your Golden Globe. It's mine.
Right.
So
yeah, it was weird. It was weird. It was a weird concept. The guy that he portrays is a strange fella, and I just don't know. I have no intention of ever watching it. But he did beat out Steve Carell for Battle of the Sexes, Ansel Elgort for Baby Driver, Hugh Jackman in The Greatest Showman, and Daniel Kaluuya for Get Out. Like I said earlier, Get Out was so weird. It's not surprising.
Yeah.
Best Supporting Actress in a Movie: Mary J. Blige, Hong Chow, Laurie Metcalf, and Octavia Spencer were all beat out by Allison Janney for I, Tonya, which is hilarious to me because Allison Janney plays the same character that Allison Janney plays in everything in I, Tonya. Allison Janney, for those of you that don't know, is Charlotte from The Help. She played as Bren in Juno. She's in.
She's in West Wing. She
was on Masters of Sex. She's
10 Things I Hate About You. Veep. The list goes on and on.
Yeah, you know her, and she has played the same role in almost everything that you've seen.
Yeah.
And I love that she won. I think that's so great. Best Supporting Actor in a Motion Picture: Willem Dafoe for The Florida Project, Armie Hammer for Call Me By Your Name, Richard Jenkins for Shape of Water. Christopher Plummer for All the Money in the World, which is hilarious because, like we were talking about on the last show, he actually came in, shot in, it was 8 or 9 days to replace Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
But they were all beat out by Sam Rockwell for 3 billboards.
Which is crazy.
It's crazy, but here's the thing. I have the biggest dude crush on Sam Rockwell. I love Sam Rockwell. Everything that he's in, I will watch.
Yeah.
Because I think he is going to become the next Gary Oldman.
Ooh.
And we already have Gary Oldman. But he reminds me a lot of that. He plays very, very obscure, weird, off the wall characters. He doesn't really get typecast. No. So I think he's
probably because of his crazy rage. He's everywhere.
Right.
So.
He's all over the place. So I think that it's really cool that he won. Shape of Water won Best Original Score. This Is Me from The Greatest Showman won Best Original Song, which I thought was funny because, like I said earlier, that everything I've heard is you watch the movie to have context for the soundtrack.
Yeah.
The best screenplay, not surprising, was 3 Billboards. Best motion picture for foreign language, In the Fade. Haven't seen it. Yeah. Don't like subtitles. Call me whatever you want.
Sure.
Best TV series drama, Handmaid's Tale.
I have heard that's good.
I have also heard it's good. I have zero interest in watching it.
Yeah.
Beat out Stranger Things, Game of Thrones, This Is Us, and The Crown.
Yeah, which is tough for me. But,
I really wanted Stranger Things to get a W.
Yeah, it's going to be tough for all of our listeners just because we're like,
right.
Excuse me. You don't just put Stranger Things on the list and not give it the W. So retract that.
Yeah,
and reverse it.
Unsurprisingly, Elizabeth Moss, who plays the lead in The Handmaid's Tale, won Best Performance by an Actress in a TV Series. Best Performance by an Actor in a TV Series, taken by Sterling Brown in This Is Us. I have not seen Ozark, but I heard it's fantastic, and that was Jason Bateman was up for that. Bob Odenkirk for Better Call Saul, Liev Schreiber for Ray Donovan, which is a great show. I have not seen Ray Donovan recently.
Yeah.
But the first couple seasons were fantastic. And the one that I really think got robbed was Freddie Highmore in The Good Doctor.
The Good Doctor, like that, his acting.
He does such a great job. And it's the same. It goes directly in line with Shape of Water. It's
absolutely
acting as a character with a handicap. I feel like you get bonus points.
You should.
I feel like you should get bonus points.
Yeah, and if you do it well, just give him the W because, gosh, he's probably like changed his whole world. By the way he's like committed to that role.
Yeah, and he does like I have an autistic cousin, younger cousin, and she has very severe autism. She's not nearly as high functioning as Freddie Highmore's character in The Good Doctor, but he does things in his role that I can see. In my real life, having someone in my life that's autistic.
Yeah.
But next TV or best TV series for musical or comedy, the winner and my jam for last week, The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. This one's on Amazon Prime. If you have not watched it yet, go watch it. This is proof that my jam is not crazy.
Yeah.
Blackish got beat out, which is not surprising at all. Master of None, Smilf, and Will and Grace also all got beat out. Best performance by an actor in a TV series, Aziz Ansari for Master of None, beating out Anthony Anderson. Deserved.
I guess he's come up from Parks and Rec. So.
Right. But beat out Anthony Anderson. Kevin Bacon for I Love Dick, William H. Macy for Shameless, and Eric McCormick in Will and Grace. Best performance by an actress in a TV series, not surprising, Rachel Brosnahan for The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. Yeah, that show is seriously fantastic.
Yeah.
Like, it's not. It's so good. It's so funny. And like it's got awkward moments that make you feel uncomfortable. Like there were multiple times where Michael Ann and I were watching that show, and I looked over at her and just like, this is hard to watch.
Yeah.
Because it would just get so uncomfortable. Like she's a stand-up comedian, and there was an entire episode about like her going through like her bombing phase where she just doesn't do well, and then she gives up on comedy, and like it was hard to watch.
Yeah.
Limited series or motion picture made for television, Big Little Lies won out.
Won like everything.
Yeah.
As far as miniseries goes.
Yeah.
Like they just they took it home. I mean, the only one like really they didn't get was Best Actor.
Yeah.
You know?
Which Best Actor was Ewan McGregor for Fargo, but Best Actress was Nicole Kidman for Big Little Lies. Supporting actor was Alexander Skarsgård.
Oh, actor, sorry.
Yeah, and Best Actress supporting actress was Laura Dern.
Yeah.
Cleaned house.
Yeah. And I've actually, Jenna was watching that, my wife, and I saw like, episodes here and there. I was like, yeah, that's a good drama, like
right.
It was pretty intense, and I didn't even see the end of it. So
that's another one that I just don't really have a lot of interest in. It reminds me of like, I don't want to say Desperate Housewives, but it's like basically Housewives, a murder story.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which doesn't really grab my attention. Reese Witherspoon, Shailene Woodley, Nicole Kidman, Laura Dern, Zoe Kravitz. Like, it doesn't really have a cast that grabs my attention either.
Yeah.
Not saying that it's not worth, like, it doesn't deserve winning. The other options were Fargo, Feud, The Sinner, and Top of the Lake. I've not seen it, obviously.
Yeah.
If you didn't guess that from what I just said, but I just don't know if it was deserved because it's not even something that interests me. So I've not seen it, obviously. The one thing that I did think was super interesting was best performance by an actress in a limited series. Feud, Bette and Joan actually had, and Big Little Lies had both of their primary stars in that category. So Jessica Biel in The Sinner was the last one. Nicole Kidman and Reese Witherspoon for Big Little Lies, and Jessica Lange and Susan Sarandon were all nominated. So I wonder if Reese feels like it's kind of awkward that Nicole Kidman won because she was in the same show and also was nominated.
Yeah.
But like with Feud, it would have been hilarious for one of them to win because it would have gone perfectly in line with the concept of the show if Jessica Lange or Susan Sarandon won.
Point. Yeah.
That would have been a hilarious thing to happen. But it also asked the question, like, would it have been awkward had one of them won and invited the other one on stage? Because it is the concept of the show. But same thing happened with actress in a supporting role with Laura Dern winning for Big Little Lies. Shailene Woodley was also nominated.
Yeah.
So, like, not only did Big Little Lies pretty much sweep the category for limited series or motion picture made for television, but they had multiple nominations in multiple categories.
Yeah, which is crazy.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it for the Golden Globes. The one thing that I found was really interesting was Ewan McGregor won Best Performance by an Actor in Fargo. Reason I find that interesting is because of two of the people that he beat, being Robert De Niro in The Wizard of Lies and Jude Law in The Young Pope.
Yeah.
That was super surprising to me. Given Ewan McGregor is is a fairly big name. I don't know if I would call him A-list, but he's like A-.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I just thought that was really interesting. And then Twin Peaks, not surprised that they didn't win anything. It's kind of like what we were saying earlier, is like our stuff, the stuff we get excited about doesn't really get its due.
Awards.
Yeah, doesn't get its due because it's weird. It's like nobody knows if Kyle MacLachlan did a good job because that show was weird.
Yeah.
Like, it's hard to follow. It's hard to know if he did a good job. To the lay person, that is. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much it for the Golden Globes. So for you listener folk, if
now you know.
Yeah, now you know. And if you felt someone should have won that didn't, or someone that did win that I or Tori contested.
Yeah. Or even if there are shows or movies that we really should be watching, that won and we're not, let us know.
Yeah. Unless it's the Handmaid's Tale.
Well, unless
Handmaid's Tale. Then I'm just not interested. Or Big Little Lies. But yeah, we're gonna jump into jams. So sit tight.
What's your jam?
So Tori, I'm pretty sure how I know this is gonna go, but what's your jam?
Oh, my jam is little Scarlett Marie-Mindrebo. She is just amazing. And I forget if you and I talked about it, but it's the most crazy thing to have someone pass you, your daughter. Like, you just look at this little girl and you just say...
Only if it's a daughter.
Well, yeah.
It's only...
If it's a boy, these feelings go away from what I hear. My mother told me the same. She's saying, yeah, I didn't feel that with you. No.
Jeez.
But, to look at someone and love them unquestionably and, you would die for this person immediately is such a crazy thing. Because, and just in talking about it, I didn't feel that with Jenna right away. And she'd say the same. That relationship developed into what it is, but for my little girl, I'm just I'll give you the world, love you, she's my jam. She goes through jam 100 diapers in a week. So gross. If you're wanting to know more about what's in that jam, I can tell you.
Please don't. Yeah, I think I'm good.
Yeah. But no, she's beautiful, wonderful, and absolutely my jam. So. Yeah, Chris, you've hinted at it, but tell us more about your jam.
Well, my jam last week was The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Oh, that's right. Right. Yeah.
But my jam this week is also television related. And it is just the fact that mid-season break is over. For a lot of TV shows, mid-season break is over. A handful of my shows are coming back. So I'm pretty excited about that. The Good Doctor aired on the 9th. Ghosted aired on the 8th. Ghosted, if you're not watching Ghosted, you're doing television wrong. It's Adam Scott and Craig Robinson working for a supernatural CIA, basically. And it's hilarious. But I'm just excited that mid-season break is over. A lot of good shows on TV right now. A lot of good shows for our people on TV right now. Ghosted, Star Trek, Discovery. Of course, those are the only two that come to mind right now.
Sure. Yeah.
Runaways is on right now. It's coming up at the end of its season. Marvel Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., if you're still watching that, which I am, just came back. Big Bang Theory, Last Man on Earth, Lucifer should be coming back here shortly. So
You watch that one?
Lucifer. I love
Yeah.
Lucifer. I love the show called
I've
Lucifer.
heard I need to get on it. So yeah.
Yeah, Lucifer. I think mid-season break actually broke last week, so that should be coming out again today. No,
Oh, wow.
not today, because this is a week in the future. So it came back on the 2nd, so it should be coming back on the 9th-ish. But it's a fantastic show. I love that one. But that's my jam. Mid-season break is over. All of my TV shows are coming back to me where they belong. So I'm very pleased. I'm very, very pleased.
Well, perfect, man. I love it.
So that's my jam. And that's the end of the show. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, for sticking around, for listening to us talk about a bunch of movies and TV shows that we haven't seen. But just giving you the rundown on the Golden Globes, and for hearing Tori talk about his baby a lot more.
I may end up having a different topic by the next time I'm on the show. You know,
I bet
we'll
next
find out.
time we're on the show, we're just gonna talk about like superhero dads with daughters. Like that's what we're gonna talk about. You're gonna find every superhero that
Hey, Kick-Ass, man.
has a
You know?
daughter.
There you go.
Big Daddy and Hit Girl.
Yeah.
That's gonna be
attainable. It's attainable, that one.
That's gonna be what your topic is next time we're on the show. I have a feeling.
Goodness.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. Follow us on the internet, betweenthecons.com. We'll get you to all of our internet sites, as well as a way to subscribe. Betweenthecons.com/subscribe gets you to Apple Podcasts, Overcast, Google Play, our RSS feed, YouTube. So go check that out.
Do all of that.
Yeah, you can get out to any of your podcast listening applications by going to betweenthecons.com/subscribe. So do it. Stay tuned for Thursday, because we're gonna be back. We're gonna be talking about the news some more, because news is always new. So hang tight, have a great week, and we will talk to you on Thursday.
See ya.
What woman doesn't like This Is Us?